we embark on a journey to explore one of the world's oldest and most profound spiritual traditions, Buddhism. Emerging in ancient India over 2,500 years ago, this tradition has evolved into a rich tapestry of philosophy, practices, and cultures, continuing to inspire and transform millions across the globe. From the serene landscapes of Tibetan monasteries to the bustling streets of Tokyo, Buddhism has left an indelible mark on human history, providing timeless wisdom for the challenges of our modern world. At its core, Buddhism is not a religion in the classical sense, though often perceived as such. It is more accurately described as a path, a way of living that seeks to understand the nature of reality and to cultivate wisdom, compassion, and liberation from suffering. This path is rooted in the teachings of Siddhartha Gautama, a prince from ancient India who, after experiencing deep suffering and loss, embarked on a profound spiritual quest that ultimately led him to enlightenment. The foundational principles of Buddhism offer a robust framework for understanding its teachings. Foremost are the Four Noble Truths, providing a profound understanding of suffering and its origins. They are the truths of suffering, the truth of the cause of suffering, which arises from craving and ignorance, the truth of the cessation of suffering, and finally, the truth of the path to the end of suffering, which is the Eightfold Path. The Eightfold Path offers a practical guide to living a virtuous life. It is comprised of three key aspects: wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline. Wisdom encompasses right understanding and right intention, laying the foundation for a life guided by clear perspective. Ethical conduct includes right speech, right action, and right livelihood, encouraging actions that benefit oneself and others. Finally, mental discipline, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration trains the mind and allows us to harness our focus. Buddhism places a strong emphasis on practice. Two key practices are central: mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness involves cultivating awareness of the present moment, allowing individuals to become more aware of their thoughts, feelings, and actions. It can be integrated into daily life, helping individuals to stay focused. Meditation, on the other hand, is a practice that involves training the mind to focus on a single point, such as the breath. Regular meditation can lead to greater clarity, compassion, and wisdom. In the modern world, Buddhism continues to evolve and adapt. From the vibrant Buddhist communities in Los Angeles to the Buddhist-inspired movements in Europe, Buddhism offers a unique perspective on contemporary issues. Its tenets are increasingly relevant in addressing environmental concerns, social justice issues, and the pursuit of personal growth and self-awareness. Buddhism offers a timely reminder of the importance of compassion, mindfulness, and living in harmony with ourselves and the world around us. In essence, Buddhism provides a profound framework for living a meaningful life, making its ancient wisdom powerfully relevant in our contemporary times. Buddhism, mood. Originating in India over 2,500 years ago, Buddhism is not merely a religion. It is a complete philosophy and way of life that addresses fundamental questions about existence, suffering, and the nature of reality. In this lecture, we will delve into the core tenets of Buddhism, which include the concepts of interconnectedness and impermanence, as well as the path offered to end suffering through practices like meditation and mindfulness. Buddhism traces its roots to the life and teachings of Siddhartha Gautama, who became known as the Buddha, meaning the awakened one. Born into nobility, Siddhartha lived a sheltered life until he ventured beyond his palace and encountered the harsh realities of existence: sickness, old age, and death. These encounters stirred a deep existential crisis within him, propelling him on a quest for understanding the nature of suffering and the possibility of transcendence. After years of ascetic practices and rigorous meditation, Siddhartha attained enlightenment beneath the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya. In that moment of awakening, he realized the Four Noble Truths, which would become the foundation of Buddhist thought. Each of these truths provides insight into the human condition, leading us to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the nature of existence. One of the fundamental teachings of Buddhism is the principle of interconnectedness, often encapsulated in the idea of dependent origination. This concept asserts that all phenomena arise in dependence upon multiple causes and conditions, implying that nothing exists in isolation. Our lives are intricately woven into the larger tapestry of existence. Our actions, thoughts, and intentions resonate not only within our own lives, but also influence the lives of others. This perspective fosters compassion and empathy, as it encourages us to recognize that our well being is intrinsically linked to the well being of all living beings. In an age marked by individualism and social fragmentation, the Buddhist emphasis on interconnectedness serves as a reminder of our shared humanity and responsibility. It calls for mindfulness in our interactions, promoting a sense of global community where our actions can contribute positively to the collective good. Closely related to the idea of interconnectedness is the Buddhist understanding of impermanence, or anicca. This principle asserts that all things are in a constant state of flux. Nothing is permanent, and everything changes. Our experiences, thoughts, and emotions are transient, and clinging to them can lead to suffering. The recognition of impermanence invites us to embrace change rather than resist it. When we understand that joy and sorrow are temporary, and that circumstances continually evolve, we learn to appreciate each moment fully. Moreover, this awareness of impermanence encourages us to detach from material possessions and transient desires, recognizing that true happiness does not stem from external sources, but rather from inner peace and understanding. At the heart of Buddhism lies the goal of ending suffering, encapsulated through the concept of dukkha, often translated as suffering or dissatisfaction. The Buddha identified several sources of suffering, including ignorance, attachment, and aversion. However, he also taught that it is possible to transcend this suffering through the path he articulated in the Four Noble Truths. Central to this path is the cultivation of mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness, or sati, involves maintaining an awareness of our thoughts, emotions, and sensations in the present moment. It is not about eliminating thoughts or feelings, but observing them without attachment or aversion. This practice can help us develop insight into the nature of our experience, helping to reduce unnecessary suffering. Meditation serves as a crucial tool for fostering mindfulness. Through various techniques, individuals can train their minds to focus, calm their thoughts, and gain deeper insights into their own nature. Meditation practices such as vipassana, insight meditation, and metta, loving kindness meditation, cultivate not only awareness, but also compassion for oneself and others. As we deepen our practice, we begin to understand the interconnectedness of all beings, developing a profound sense of empathy and compassion. In conclusion, Buddhism offers a comprehensive framework for understanding and addressing the inherent challenges of life. By focusing on the interconnectedness of all beings and the impermanence of our experiences, we develop a compassionate outlook that encourages ethical living and engagement with the world around us. Moreover, through the practices of meditation and mindfulness, we learn to cultivate inner peace, awareness, and liberation from suffering. As we navigate the complexities of modern existence, the ancient wisdom of Buddhism provides invaluable tools for personal transformation and a greater understanding of our shared humanity. By integrating these teachings into our daily lives, we can cultivate resilience, compassion, and a deeper sense of meaning, ultimately contributing to a more harmonious and interconnected world. We will explore the life of Siddhartha Gautama, the historical Buddha, and the remarkable journey that led him from a life of privilege to becoming one of the most influential spiritual figures in human history. His story is not only a captivating narrative, but also a profound illustration of the human capacity for transformation and the enduring pursuit of wisdom. Siddhartha Gautama was born into a wealthy and noble family in what is now Nepal around the 6th century BCE. Growing up in a protected environment of opulence and comfort, he was shielded from the harsh realities of the world, sickness, old age, and death. He was raised in a life designed to provide him with nothing but pleasure and happiness. Yet, despite his privileged upbringing, Siddhartha experienced a growing sense of unease. He questioned the purpose of life and the nature of suffering, sensing that true fulfillment lay beyond the confines of his gilded existence. Driven by this burgeoning spiritual restlessness, Siddhartha decided to leave his palace, his family, and his comfortable life behind. This crucial decision marks the turning point in his life, setting him on a quest for truth and liberation. He sought answers from various spiritual teachers and followed the path of extreme asceticism, subjecting himself to severe self-denial and hardship in the hopes of finding enlightenment. He fasted, practiced extreme forms of meditation, and subjected himself to physical deprivation, believing these practices would lead him to the ultimate truth. After years of rigorous practice, Siddhartha realized that extreme asceticism did not lead to the desired enlightenment. He understood that both indulgence and self-denial were unproductive paths, and that the middle way, a path of balance and moderation, was the correct route to understanding. He abandoned his extreme practices and began to meditate under the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, India. This was the moment of profound transformation. Through deep meditation and unwavering focus, Siddhartha finally attained enlightenment, realizing the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, the core tenets of his future teachings. In this momentous state of awakening, he became the Buddha, which means the awakened one or the enlightened one. Having achieved enlightenment, the Buddha dedicated the rest of his life to sharing his wisdom with others. He began to teach his understanding of suffering, its causes, and the path to liberation. His teachings, rooted in compassion, wisdom, and ethical conduct, resonated with people from all walks of life, attracting a growing community of followers. The Buddha's teachings were not based on dogma or ritual. They were a practical guide to living a meaningful life and overcoming suffering. He emphasized the importance of personal experience, critical thinking, and the cultivation of inner peace. His message emphasized the interconnectedness of all beings and the impermanence of all things, encouraging his followers to live with awareness, kindness, and equanimity. The Buddha's teachings were passed down through generations, spreading across Asia and eventually to the rest of the world. The Sangha, the community of Buddhist monks and nuns, played a crucial role in preserving and disseminating his teachings, as did the lay followers who supported the monastic community and put the principles into action in their daily lives. The life of Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, is a testament to the human capacity for transformation. His journey from privilege to poverty and suffering to enlightenment offers profound lessons for us all. Through his example, we can learn to challenge our own assumptions, seek truth with determination, and strive for a life of wisdom, compassion, and inner peace. His legacy continues to inspire people across the globe, reminding us of the enduring value of seeking understanding and cultivating the highest qualities of the human spirit. Today's lecture will delve into the core teachings of the Buddha, specifically focusing on the Four Noble Truths. These truths form the foundational framework of Buddhist philosophy, offering a profound and practical understanding of the human condition and a roadmap for achieving liberation from suffering. They are not just abstract principles, but a set of observations that apply to all aspects of life, guiding us towards a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. The first noble truth, the truth of suffering. The first noble truth, the truth of suffering, or dukkha in Pali, acknowledges the inescapable reality that life is inherently characterized by suffering. This does not imply that life is solely and perpetually miserable. Rather, it recognizes that suffering is an intrinsic part of existence, manifested in various forms, including physical pain. This is the most immediate and undeniable form of suffering, encompassing the pain of illness, injury, old age, and ultimately, death. Emotional distress. This includes feelings like sadness, grief, fear, anger, and despair. These emotions arise from difficult experiences and challenges, which can often feel overwhelming. Impermanence and change. The transient nature of all things is itself a source of suffering. Everything is constantly changing, including our experiences, relationships, and even our own bodies. The awareness that nothing lasts forever can bring feelings of loss and anxiety. Dissatisfaction. Even when we experience pleasure and happiness, there is a sense of incompleteness and a constant yearning for something more. This dissatisfaction, leads to a cycle of striving and craving that fuels further suffering. The first noble truth is not intended to be pessimistic. Instead, it is an honest and realistic assessment of the human condition. Recognizing the inevitability of suffering is the essential first step towards addressing it. The second noble truth, the truth of the cause of suffering. The second noble truth identifies the root cause of suffering: attachment, craving, and ignorance, which are often interconnected. These are the psychological drivers that perpetuate the cycle of suffering. They manifest as attachment, tanha. This is the clinging to things, experiences, and people, with the desire to hold on to them. It leads to fear of loss, and the inevitable separation from these objects of attachment causes pain. Craving, tanha. This is the insatiable desire for pleasure, possessions, and experiences. We want more, better, and different things. This craving creates a sense of lack and dissatisfaction, driving us to seek external gratification, which ultimately proves fleeting. Ignorance, avidya. This refers to a fundamental misunderstanding of reality, a lack of awareness of the true nature of things. It includes a failure to recognize the interconnectedness, impermanence, and the selflessness of all beings. This ignorance leads to mistaken assumptions about ourselves and the world, perpetuating attachment and craving. The second noble truth clarifies that suffering is not arbitrary or random. It is a consequence of our actions and the mental states that drive them. The third noble truth, the truth of the cessation of suffering. The third noble truth offers a message of hope. Suffering can be overcome. It asserts that by eliminating attachment, craving, and ignorance, we can achieve liberation from suffering, a state of peace and contentment known as nirvana. This state is characterized by freedom from the cycle of rebirth, the cessation of suffering, and a profound understanding of reality. Nirvana is not simply the absence of suffering, and it is also the realization of our true nature, a state of inner peace, wisdom, and compassion. The third noble truth offers a path towards that profound state. The fourth noble truth, the truth of the path to the cessation of suffering. The fourth noble truth provides the practical method for achieving the cessation of suffering, the Eightfold Path. This is not a rigid set of rules, but a framework for cultivating ethical conduct, mental discipline, and wisdom. The Eightfold Path is divided into three categories. Wisdom, prana. This includes right understanding, seeing the Four Noble Truths, and right thought, cultivating thoughts of kindness, compassion, and non-harming. Ethical conduct, sila. This encompasses right speech, speaking truthfully and kindly, right action, avoiding harm, and right livelihood, earning a living ethically. Mental discipline, samadhi. This includes right effort, making an effort to cultivate wholesome states of mind, right mindfulness, being aware of the present moment, and right concentration, developing focus through meditation. By diligently practicing the Eightfold Path, we can gradually weaken attachment, craving, and ignorance, ultimately leading to liberation from suffering. The Four Noble Truths provide a clear and concise roadmap for navigating the complexities of life. They are an invitation to embrace the realities of suffering and to understand its origins. Furthermore, the Four Noble Truths offer a practical path to overcoming suffering, paving the way for a life of peace, wisdom, and compassion. They are not just abstract philosophical concepts. They are a lived experience, a journey that provides transformative change. By understanding and practicing these truths, we can move toward a more fulfilling and meaningful existence. Building upon our previous discussion of the Four Noble Truths, today's lecture focuses on the Eightfold Path, the practical guide to the cessation of suffering outlined in the Fourth Noble Truth. The Eightfold Path is not a set of rigid rules, but a holistic framework, a set of interconnected principles designed to guide us toward ethical conduct, mental discipline, and the cultivation of wisdom. It's an invitation to transform our way of being in the world, fostering inner peace and paving the way to liberation. The Eightfold Path, a comprehensive framework. The Eightfold Path is often divided into three categories, each representing a vital aspect of spiritual development: wisdom, prana, ethical conduct, sila, and mental discipline, samadhi. These categories work synergistically, supporting and reinforcing one another. Progress in one area will invariably influence the others. Wisdom, prana. The first two aspects of the Eightfold Path fall under the category of wisdom. Prajna, representing the intellectual and intuitive understanding needed to navigate life effectively. Right understanding, samaditi. This is the foundation of the path. It involves comprehending the Four Noble Truths and the nature of reality. This understanding includes recognizing the impermanence of all things, the interconnectedness of all beings, and the consequences of our actions. It's not merely intellectual knowledge, but a deep and experiential awareness. Right thought, samasankappa. Having gained right understanding, we cultivate thoughts that are positive and conducive to our well-being and the well-being of others. This involves avoiding thoughts of ill will, greed, and harmful intentions. We cultivate thoughts of loving kindness, compassion, and renunciation, leading to clarity of mind and a more positive outlook on life. The development of right understanding and right thought is crucial, as they set the foundation for the rest of the path. Ethical conduct, sila. The next three aspects of the Eightfold Path represent ethical conduct. Sila, providing guidelines for moral behavior and fostering a harmonious relationship with ourselves and others. Right speech, samavaka. This involves speaking truthfully, kindly, and constructively. It means avoiding lying, gossip, harsh words, and frivolous talk. Practicing right speech cultivates honesty, trust, and understanding in our relationships, creating a positive communication environment. Right action, samakamanta. This involves acting in accordance with ethical principles, avoiding actions that cause harm to oneself or others. This includes refraining from killing, stealing, and engaging in sexual misconduct. It encourages us to act with compassion, integrity, and respect for all beings. Right livelihood, sama ajiva. This involves earning a living in a way that does not harm others. It means avoiding professions that involve killing, trading in weapons, selling intoxicants, or other unethical activities. Right livelihood promotes integrity in our work lives, contributing to a sense of purpose and ethical conduct. Ethical conduct is vital for creating a positive impact on the world and creating a foundation of trust and integrity. Mental discipline, samadhi. The final three aspects of the Eightfold Path fall under the category of mental discipline, samadhi, focusing on the development of concentration, mindfulness, and mental clarity. Right effort, samavayama. This involves making a conscious effort to cultivate wholesome states of mind, such as loving kindness, compassion, and wisdom. This also entails consciously avoiding unwholesome states of mind, such as anger, greed, and fear. It requires consistent practice, dedication, and self-discipline. Right mindfulness, samasati. This involves cultivating an awareness of the present moment. It is about observing our thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment. Through mindfulness, we develop a clearer understanding of our mental processes and learn to respond skillfully to life's challenges. Right concentration, samasamadhi. This is the development of focused attention through meditation. It involves training the mind to become calm, clear, and focused on a single point, such as the breath. This practice enables us to develop deep insights into the nature of reality, leading to greater clarity and understanding. These three elements of mental discipline cultivate a mind that is calm, clear, and focused, making it an indispensable part of the path. The Eightfold Path is more than a set of steps. It is a unified and interconnected system. Cultivating wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline are mutually supportive practices. By diligently following the Eightfold Path, we can begin to weaken our attachment, craving, and ignorance, paving the way for a life of greater peace, wisdom, and compassion. As you contemplate the principles of the Eightfold Path, I encourage you to consider how you might integrate them into your daily lives. It is not an overnight process, but a journey. The practices are designed to support each other and bring about profound positive change. In this journey, you will discover a life of greater peace, compassion, and joy. In our increasingly hectic world, the practices of meditation and mindfulness stand out as powerful tools for enhancing our well-being and fostering a deeper understanding of ourselves. These two practices are pivotal to the pursuit of inner peace and clarity, allowing us to navigate the complexities of life with greater ease. Meditation can be understood as a disciplined practice aimed at training the mind. At its core, it involves focusing our attention on a specific point, be it the breath, a mantra, or a visual object. This practice is akin to exercising a muscle. Through consistent effort, we develop a stronger, more resilient mind. One of the foundational techniques in meditation is mindfulness of breathing, where we concentrate on the sensation of air entering and leaving our body. This simple act of focusing on our breath serves as an anchor, gently guiding our attention back to the present moment whenever distractions arise. Beyond breathing, several meditation techniques can enrich our practice. Loving kindness meditation, for example, encourages us to cultivate feelings of love and compassion first toward ourselves and then to others, expanding these sentiments to loved ones and even to those we may find challenging. Walking meditation invites us to engage with the physical sensations of movement, allowing us to experience mindfulness in action. Contemplative practices may involve reflecting on specific themes or questions, deepening our insight into the nature of our thoughts and emotions. The benefits of meditation are wide-ranging and deeply impactful. Scientific studies and ancient wisdom alike highlight its capacity to reduce stress and anxiety, enhance focus and concentration, and foster self-awareness. As we train our minds to observe our emotions without being overwhelmed by them, we develop emotional regulation skills that allow us to respond to life's challenges with a greater sense of calm. Additionally, regular meditation can lead to improved sleep quality, enabling us to rest more deeply and restore our energy. On the other hand, mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment, observing our thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment. It involves cultivating an awareness that is curious and accepting, enabling us to engage with life as it unfolds. This approach allows us to experience life more richly and to savor the simple joys that may often go unnoticed, such as the taste of food, the sensation of walking, or the experience of listening attentively to someone else. Mindfulness is not about emptying our minds or achieving a specific goal. Rather, it is about acknowledging whatever arises in our consciousness. It trains us to observe our thoughts as they come and go, preventing us from becoming entangled in them. The practice of mindfulness can be seamlessly integrated into our daily lives. Whether we are eating, walking, or even washing dishes, we can bring our full attention to the experience, cultivating an awareness that enriches our interactions and promotes a more profound appreciation for life. The relationship between meditation and mindfulness is deeply intertwined. Meditation fosters the mental discipline needed to maintain mindfulness, while mindfulness enriches our meditation experience. Engaging in meditation prepares us to be more mindful in everyday moments, allowing us to apply the skills we learn during meditation to the unfolding circumstances of our lives. As we explore these transformative practices, it's important to recognize their accessibility. Regardless of our backgrounds or beliefs, meditation and mindfulness offer tools that can significantly enhance our quality of life. By embracing these approaches, we embark on a journey of self-discovery that fosters greater awareness, compassion, and inner peace. In conclusion, meditation and mindfulness are not just practices to be performed in solitude. They are pathways to cultivate a richer, more meaningful existence. As we learn to refine our attention and embrace the present moment, we can transform our relationship with ourselves and the world around us. By dedicating time to these practices, we open ourselves to a deeper sense of fulfillment and joy, discovering the power that lies within us to navigate life with grace and ease. The three jewels, anchors on the path to enlightenment. As we deepen our understanding of the path to liberation, we now turn our attention to the three jewels. This framework forms the bedrock of Buddhist practice, offering a refuge and a compass for all those seeking to navigate the challenges of life and find inner peace. The three jewels encapsulate the core values that guide practitioners toward enlightenment and provide a path to reduce suffering. Meditation and mindfulness refresh. Before exploring the jewels, we refresh the understanding of meditation and mindfulness. Meditation is the practice of training the mind by bringing focused attention to a specific point. Mindfulness, in turn, is the art of paying attention to the present moment without judgment, enhancing the quality of our awareness. The jewels, the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. The Buddha. The Buddha is the awakened one, the embodiment of enlightenment and wisdom. He is not a god to be worshipped, but an exemplar, a guide who has shown us the way to overcome suffering. The Buddha is the reminder that enlightenment is attainable for all beings, showing us the potential that we all share. The Dharma. The Dharma represents the teachings of the Buddha, the path that leads to liberation from suffering. This includes the Four Noble Truths, the Eightfold Path, and the various practices and philosophies that illuminate our way forward. The Dharma functions as the roadmap, providing instruction and insight for our spiritual journey. The Sangha. The Sangha is the community of practitioners who support and inspire each other on the path. This includes not only monks and nuns, but also lay people, anyone who is striving to practice the Dharma and live ethically. The Sangha provides the support and a sense of community. Taking refuge, embracing the three jewels. Taking refuge in the three jewels is a fundamental practice in Buddhism. It is an act of turning to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha for guidance, inspiration, and support. It's a commitment to the path and a recognition of the immense value of these elements. This act involves Nitones Verb Yoshur, the Buddha, acknowledging the Buddha's enlightenment as a potential for us. The Dharma, recognizing the value of the Buddha's teachings as a path to follow. The Sangha, seeking the support and inspiration of other practitioners, finding direction and peace. The three jewels, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, constitute a comprehensive framework for Buddhist practice. They provide a foundation for a transformative journey. Through acknowledging the Buddha as the source of wisdom, following the Dharma, and seeking support within the Sangha, practitioners can begin to cultivate the wisdom, compassion, and ethical conduct needed to end suffering and realize their full potential. They offer direction and purpose on our journey, leading us towards greater peace and understanding. The concept of karma, understanding cause and effect. We now turn our attention to the concept of karma, a cornerstone of Buddhist philosophy. It is a principle that explains the fundamental relationship between actions and their consequences, shaping our experiences and influencing our future. It is not simply a system of reward and punishment, but a complex web of cause and effect that operates continuously. Actions, sowing the seeds of karma. At its essence, karma refers to actions. It is the intentional actions, both physical, such as giving, stealing, helping, and mental, such as thoughts, intentions, and emotions, that create karmic imprints. Every action we take leaves a subtle impression, a seed, on our mental and emotional landscape. These seeds can be categorized as wholesome, positive, skillful, unwholesome, negative, unskillful, or neutral. Wholesome actions cultivate positive karmic seeds. These seeds have the potential to produce positive consequences, leading to happiness, peace, and well-being. Examples include acts of kindness, generosity, and compassion. Unwholesome actions generate negative karmic seeds. These seeds can produce negative consequences, such as suffering, unhappiness, and difficulties. Examples include actions motivated by greed, hatred, and ignorance. Neutral actions are those that do not have a significant moral component and may have little impact, such as the simple act of walking. The quality of our intentions is crucial. Intentions shape the nature of our actions. A seemingly neutral action performed with a positive intention becomes a wholesome action. A seemingly harmless action performed with a negative intention becomes an unwholesome action. Consequences, the fruits of karma, the karmic imprints created by our actions, do not simply disappear. They ripen over time, leading to future consequences. These consequences can manifest in various ways, influencing now our experiences. Karma influences the circumstances of our lives, the relationships we have, and the challenges and opportunities we face. Our personality. Karma can shape our character traits, tendencies, and emotional responses. Our rebirth. Karma also plays a role in shaping the future lives. The consequences of karma are not necessarily immediate. They may unfold over the course of days, months, years, or even lifetimes. The cycle of cause and effect, shaping our destiny. Karma is a continuous cycle of cause and effect. Our actions in the past shape our experiences in the present, and our actions in the present shape our experiences in the future. This is a dynamic and ongoing process, as is sometimes represented by the circle of life. The understanding of karma can bring the following. A. Responsibility. We are responsible for our actions and the consequences that follow. Empowerment. We have the power to shape our future by cultivating wholesome actions and reducing unwholesome ones. Patience. Because karma operates over time, it requires patience and perseverance. Compassion. Recognizing that everyone is subject to karma can cultivate greater compassion and understanding for others. Conclusion. The power of intention. The concept of karma underscores the importance of intentional actions. It calls us to be mindful of our choices. By cultivating wholesome thoughts, intentions, and actions, we create the conditions for happiness, well-being, and the gradual liberation from suffering. Karma is an invitation to take responsibility for our lives and to shape our destiny through mindful and ethical behavior. Reincarnation and the cycle of rebirth, a journey through lives. Today, we explore another key concept in Buddhist thought: reincarnation and the cycle of rebirth. This concept, deeply intertwined with karma, provides a comprehensive understanding of our existence, the impermanence of life, and the potential for spiritual growth. Death, a transition, not an end. In Buddhism, death is not viewed as an absolute end. Instead, it is understood as a transition, a change of form and consciousness. When a physical body ceases to function, the consciousness or mind stream does not simply vanish. It continues, seeking a new form to inhabit. The process is likened to a flame being passed from one candle to another. The original flame dies, but its light and potential continue in the second candle. This passing of consciousness is driven by karma, the accumulated effects of our past actions. Rebirth, the consequence of karma, the form in which we are reborn, human, animal, celestial being, or other, is determined by our accumulated karma from past lives. Wholesome actions create positive karmic imprints, which can lead to rebirth in favorable realms, where conditions for happiness and spiritual growth are more readily available. Unwholesome actions create negative karmic imprints, which can result in rebirth in less favorable realms, where suffering and hardship are more prevalent. It is important to note that rebirth is not seen as a reward or punishment from some external force. The quality of our rebirth is the natural consequence of our own actions. This belief encourages ethical behavior and the cultivation of wholesome actions. The cycle of rebirth, a continuous journey. The cycle of rebirth, or samsara, literally wandering, is a continuous cycle of death, rebirth, and suffering. It encompasses a vast array of realms, each with different characteristics and levels of experience. Within this cycle, beings are driven by karma, ignorance, attachment, and craving, perpetuating the cycle of birth, aging, sickness, and death. Goal. The ultimate goal in Buddhism is to break free from the cycle of rebirth and to achieve enlightenment, nirvana. Freedom. Achieving nirvana is a release from suffering and a state of perfect peace and wisdom. Breaking free. The path to liberation through the practices outlined in the Eightfold Path. Right understanding, thought, speech, action, livelihood, effort, mindfulness, and concentration. Individuals can gradually purify their karma and weaken the causes of suffering. By cultivating wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline, we can weaken our attachments, cravings, and ignorance, which are the root causes of the cycle. This can lead to a cessation of rebirth. Conclusion. A universe of possibilities. Reincarnation and the cycle of rebirth offer a profound framework for understanding our place in the universe. They emphasize the interconnectedness of all beings, the importance of our actions, and the vast potential for spiritual growth. By recognizing that we are part of an ongoing journey, we can develop a sense of purpose, responsibility, and compassion. Understanding the cycle can also alleviate fear of death and encourage us to focus on the present moment and to make the most of our lives. It encourages us to cultivate wholesome actions and to strive towards enlightenment. Nirvana and the cessation of suffering, the ultimate goal. Today we explore nirvana and the cessation of suffering, representing the culmination of the Buddhist path, the ultimate goal. Nirvana represents the end of suffering and the cessation of the cycle of rebirth, offering a state of profound peace and understanding. Nirvana is, at its heart, a state of complete liberation. It signifies the extinction of the fires of greed, hatred, and delusion, which fuel our suffering and keep us trapped. This is a transcendence of our normal ways of thinking and experiencing reality, leading to a state beyond easy description. While difficult to fully define, nirvana is associated with a multitude of positive qualities. It is marked by perfect peace, a freedom from suffering and stress, wisdom, a profound understanding of the true nature of reality, compassion, an expansive love and understanding for all beings, and a profound and abiding sense of happiness, not dependent on external conditions. Achieving nirvana is the process known as enlightenment, and this requires a deep understanding of reality and the cessation of craving. This involves recognizing the Four Noble Truths, the impermanence of all things, and the interconnectedness of all beings. It also entails relinquishing attachment to material possessions, people, and transient experiences. This pursuit demands patience, perseverance, and commitment. Central to reaching nirvana is the consistent practice of the Eightfold Path. Through ethical conduct, mental discipline, and the cultivation of wisdom, one can progressively weaken the foundations of suffering and move towards this ultimate state. While various interpretations exist, the core principle remains constant. Theravada Buddhism often views nirvana as the cessation of existence. Mahayana Buddhism tends to emphasize the dynamic aspects of nirvana, where compassion and wisdom are fully realized, and the individual can act in the world for the benefit of all beings. These are not contradictory interpretations, but rather offer different perspectives of the same profound state. In essence, nirvana represents the promise of liberation. It is the central goal that motivates Buddhists to embrace the path of self-cultivation and spiritual practice. While the nature of nirvana may remain largely beyond our full comprehension, its pursuit offers a profound framework for living a meaningful life filled with hope and purpose. It calls us to explore the depths of our own consciousness and the interconnectedness of all beings. Today's lecture will illuminate the profound concept of the middle way, a cornerstone of Buddhist practice and a guiding principle for navigating life's complexities. Far more than a mere philosophical concept, the middle way offers a practical and transformative approach, encouraging us to find equilibrium, avoid the allure of extremes, and cultivate a balanced perspective across all aspects of our existence. It is a pathway to a life lived with greater wisdom, grace, and a deep sense of inner harmony. At the heart of the middle way lies the cultivation of balance, a commitment to steering clear of the pitfalls associated with extremes. This means avoiding the tendency to cling to any single perspective, behavior, or emotion, recognizing that true fulfillment lies in the harmonious integration of different elements. This balance must extend to every facet of our lives: our physical well being, our emotional landscape, our mental processes, and even our spiritual aspirations. The middle way encourages us to seek harmony in our daily existence. It is about finding the right balance between work and rest, activity and stillness, self care and service to others. It is a call to recognize that all things are interconnected and that true well being emerges from a holistic approach. The principle of moderation is fundamental to understanding and embodying the middle way. The Buddha, through his own experiences, recognized the limitations of both extremes, the path of self indulgence and the path of self denial. He observed that clinging to either extreme would not lead to lasting happiness or enlightenment. The path of indulgence, with its focus on sensory pleasures, wealth, and power, leads to attachment, craving, and ultimately suffering. By prioritizing external gratifications, we become enslaved to our desires, constantly seeking more and never finding lasting contentment. On the other hand, the path of self denial, characterized by excessive asceticism and the suppression of natural needs, can weaken the body and mind, hindering spiritual progress and limiting our capacity for compassion and wisdom. The middle way, therefore, offers a different approach, a conscious effort to find a point of equilibrium. It is about recognizing that we are human beings with both physical and emotional needs, and that these needs must be met in a balanced and responsible manner. It is about appreciating the joys of life without becoming attached to them. Mindfulness is the essential ingredient in living the middle way. By cultivating an awareness of the present moment, we can make more conscious and skillful choices in our lives. Through mindfulness, we learn to observe our thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment, allowing us to see them for what they are: transient experiences that arise and pass away. This detachment from our inner experience is what allows us to navigate life with greater composure. Mindfulness also helps us to become more aware of the consequences of our actions. By paying attention to our intentions, motivations, and behaviors, we can begin to identify patterns that lead to suffering and make conscious efforts to change them. With mindfulness, we can respond to difficult situations with balance and composure, rather than reacting impulsively or getting swept away by our emotions. The middle way offers a timeless guide to living a more balanced, fulfilling, and meaningful life. By cultivating balance, embracing moderation, and integrating mindfulness into our daily routines, we can avoid the pitfalls of extremes and create a life characterized by greater peace, happiness, and freedom. This path is not about denying ourselves pleasure or avoiding hardship. It is about approaching life with wisdom, understanding, and an unwavering commitment to the harmonious integration of all aspects of our being. The concept of impermanence, embracing the reality of change. Today's lecture explores the profound concept of impermanence, a fundamental principle in Buddhism that offers a unique lens through which to view the world and our place within it. Impermanence, or anicca in Pali, is the understanding that everything in the universe, from the smallest particle to the grandest galaxy, is constantly changing, arising and passing away. This awareness offers a path to acceptance and peace, helping us navigate the inevitable changes and transitions of life with greater resilience and equanimity. Change, the universal constant. At its core, the concept of impermanence affirms that change is the only constant in the universe. Nothing remains the same. Everything is in a state of continuous flux, a process of creation, transformation, and decay. This applies to the physical world. Mountains erode, rivers change course, and stars are born and die. Even seemingly solid objects are made up of constantly moving particles. Our bodies. Our bodies are in a constant state of change, with cells being born and dying, and physical appearance changing over time. Our minds, our thoughts, feelings, and emotions are also impermanent, arising and passing away with each moment. Our experiences, the experiences of life, joy, sorrow, success, failure, come and go, never staying the same. Relationships evolve, circumstances shift, and nothing remains static. Recognizing this fundamental truth is the first step toward embracing impermanence. Acceptance, finding peace in the flow. Embracing the concept of impermanence offers a path to acceptance, helping us to find peace and stability amidst the constant changes of life. Resisting change, clinging to things as they are, or lamenting the past leads to suffering. However, by accepting the inevitable flow of life, we can let go of attachment. Impermanence encourages us to let go of attachments to things, people, and experiences. When we understand that everything is temporary, we are less likely to be devastated by loss or change. Cultivate gratitude. Embracing impermanence allows us to appreciate the present moment. Recognizing that everything is fleeting makes us more grateful for the good things in our lives and less likely to take them for granted. Develop resilience. By accepting that change is inevitable, we can develop greater resilience. This helps us to cope with difficult circumstances, setbacks, and losses. Find freedom. When we let go of our desire to control or hold on to things, we experience a greater sense of freedom. We are no longer bound by our fears or attachments. In essence, the concept of impermanence is a call to live fully in the present moment, appreciating the beauty and transience of life. Conclusion. Living in harmony. The concept of impermanence is not meant to be a source of sadness or despair. Instead, it provides a clear understanding of reality and a path to find peace. By recognizing that change is inevitable and embracing the present moment, we can live in greater harmony with ourselves and the world around us. By embracing the impermanence, we learn to accept the ebb and flow of life. Attachment and the cause of suffering, unveiling the roots of discontent. Today, we will explore the intricate relationship between attachment and the cause of suffering, a fundamental concept in understanding the second noble truth. By understanding how we become attached to things and how that attachment leads to discontent, we can begin to lessen our suffering. At the root of attachment lies desire, a deep-seated craving for things to be other than they are. This craving can take on different forms. It can be a desire for sensory pleasures, a longing for pleasant experiences and sensations to be repeated. It can also be a craving for things to last, a wish for existence to be unchanging. And sometimes it manifests as a desire to avoid unpleasant experiences, a craving for things to end or disappear. This craving fuels a sense of lack, driving us to seek external gratification in the hope that these things will bring lasting happiness. We strive to acquire possessions, experiences, and relationships, believing that external factors hold the key to our well-being. This is often rooted in the illusion that we can control the external world, that we can manipulate circumstances to satisfy our desires. The inevitable consequence of this attachment is suffering. When things do not unfold as we desire, when we face loss or change, attachment leads to feelings of dissatisfaction, disappointment, and pain. We suffer because we become attached to things, people, and experiences that are, by nature, impermanent. When these things inevitably change or disappear, we experience grief and a sense of loss. Additionally, we suffer because attachment leads us to try to control outcomes, hoping to guarantee a certain result. But when the world fails to conform to our expectations, we feel frustrated and disappointed. Ultimately, the very nature of desire is insatiable, perpetuating a cycle of wanting more and never truly finding lasting fulfillment. Understanding that link between attachment and suffering is the first critical step towards liberation. Through diligent practice, we can take steps to lessen our suffering. We can begin to reduce our craving by practicing moderation, contentment, and letting go of the constant desire for things to be different than they are. We can practice non-attachment, learning to accept the impermanence of all things. We can develop wisdom, understanding the true nature of reality and cultivating a sense of equanimity. We can practice mindfulness, paying attention to our thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment. We can practice compassion, fostering empathy and understanding towards the suffering of others. By understanding the roots of attachment and recognizing its role in perpetuating our pain, we can begin to break free from the cycle of dissatisfaction and find greater peace and freedom. The path to liberation involves cultivating awareness, lessening our craving, and developing a profound understanding of the impermanence of all things. It encourages a more accepting and compassionate way of living. Compassion and loving kindness, cultivating a heart of warmth. Today's lecture focuses on the crucial virtues of compassion and loving kindness, central pillars of ethical conduct and essential practices for cultivating inner peace and fostering positive relationships. These qualities are not merely emotional states, but are active, engaged practices that transform the self and benefit the world. They are the outward expression of a mind guided by wisdom and a heart filled with empathy, compassion, understanding, and alleviating suffering. Compassion, or karuna in Pali, is a deep understanding of others' suffering coupled with a sincere desire to alleviate it. It goes beyond mere sympathy, which can be a surface-level emotional reaction. Compassion is an active, engaged response, a willingness to stand with others in their pain and to take action to ease their burden. Empathy. Compassion begins with empathy, the ability to feel what others are feeling, to walk in their shoes and understand their experiences from their perspective. Recognizing the shared experience. Compassion acknowledges that suffering is a universal experience shared by all beings. It removes the sense of separation and allows us to see our common humanity. The desire to help. Compassion motivates us to take action to alleviate suffering, whether through acts of kindness, offering support, or advocating for justice. Benefits. Compassion creates deeper connections with others, inspires acts of generosity, and reduces feelings of isolation and alienation. Compassion leads to a more just and equitable world. Loving kindness. Wishing well-being for all. Loving kindness, or metta in Pali, is a genuine wish for the happiness and well-being of all beings without discrimination. It is a boundless feeling of love, kindness, and goodwill that extends to everyone, regardless of their relationship to us, their actions, or their beliefs. Extending kindness. Loving kindness is about offering a gentle, supportive presence to the world. It is a practice of wishing others well and sending them positive thoughts, regardless of their circumstances. Non-discrimination. Loving kindness extends to all beings, including those we know, those we don't know, those we like, and even those we may find difficult. It is a practice of seeing the inherent goodness in all beings. Active practice. Loving kindness is not just a feeling. It is an active practice that can be cultivated through meditation and through conscious actions. Benefits. Loving kindness dissolves negativity, reduces anger and resentment, and enhances our ability to relate to others with patience, understanding, and warmth. It builds bridges of connection and promotes harmony. Loving kindness creates a more harmonious world. Cultivating compassion and loving kindness. Compassion and loving kindness are not innate qualities that we are born with, but rather skills that can be cultivated through practice. Meditation. Loving kindness, meditation, involves directing feelings of love and well-being towards oneself, loved ones, neutral individuals, difficult people, and finally, all beings. Mindfulness. Mindfulness helps us to become more aware of our thoughts, feelings, and reactions, and to choose responses that are aligned with compassion and loving kindness. Acts of kindness. Practicing small acts of kindness, such as helping others, expressing gratitude, and offering support, can cultivate these qualities. Challenging negative thoughts. We can challenge negative thoughts about ourselves and others, replacing them with more positive and compassionate ones. These virtues are central to creating peace in the world and in our lives. Conclusion: transforming the self and the world. Compassion and loving kindness are transformative practices that can change both our inner world and our relationship with the world around us. By developing a deep understanding of others' suffering, by wishing for the happiness and well being of all beings, and by actively cultivating these virtues in our daily lives, we can create a more just, compassionate, and loving world. The practice of detachment, embracing freedom through letting go. Today, we turn our attention to the practice of detachment, a vital aspect of cultivating inner peace and reducing suffering. Detachment is often misunderstood as a lack of care or indifference. In truth, it is a profound practice that invites freedom, acceptance, and compassionate presence in our lives. Letting go, releasing unnecessary attachments. At the heart of detachment lies the concept of letting go, a process of releasing attachments that create unnecessary suffering. Attachment to outcomes, possessions, relationships, or specific ways of being can lead to deep dissatisfaction and pain. When we cling tightly to these aspects of our lives, we restrict ourselves. By practicing letting go, we open ourselves to new possibilities and experiences. Letting go does not mean abandoning our responsibilities or shutting ourselves off from others. Rather, it involves acknowledging our attachment and consciously choosing to release the hold it has on us. This can be a deeply liberating process, allowing us to move forward without the burdens of misplaced expectations or desires that do not serve our overall well being. Accepting reality, embracing situations without resistance. Another key element of detachment is accepting reality as it is. This practice encourages us to embrace situations without resistance or expectation. When we resist the flow of life, we create unnecessary tension within ourselves. Accepting reality means recognizing that things may not always go as planned, and instead of fighting against the current, we learn to flow with it. This acceptance does not imply passivity or resignation. Rather, it is an active acknowledgement of the present moment. By accepting what is, we free ourselves from the mental turmoil that arises from wishing for things to be different. This acceptance cultivates resilience, allowing us to respond to challenges with clarity and grace. Compassionate presence, loving with non-attachment. While practicing detachment, it is essential to maintain a compassionate presence. This means that even as we let go of attachment and embrace acceptance, we cultivate love and empathy for ourselves and others. Compassionate presence involves being fully engaged in our relationships and interactions, offering support, kindness, and understanding without being entangled in expectations or desires. When we practice non-attachment, we can love more freely, without the fear of loss or the burden of unrealistic expectations hanging over our relationships. This openness allows us to connect deeply with others, while respecting their autonomy and recognizing the temporary nature of all experiences. Cultivating the practice of detachment. 1. To effectively practice detachment in our lives, we can incorporate several strategies. Mindfulness meditation. Engaging in mindfulness practices allows us to observe our thoughts, feelings, and attachments without judgment. This awareness is the first step towards letting go and accepting reality. Journaling. Reflecting on our attachments and identifying those that cause suffering can help us consciously choose to release them. Fostering gratitude. Cultivating a sense of gratitude for the present moment and what we have encourages a mindset of acceptance and opens our hearts to joy without attachment. Engaging in compassionate actions. Practicing small, compassionate acts in our daily lives reinforces the balance between detachment and loving presence. Conclusion. Finding freedom through non-attachment. The practice of detachment is ultimately about finding freedom through letting go, embracing reality without resistance, and maintaining a compassionate presence in all that we do. By cultivating non-attachment, we can navigate the complexities of life with greater ease, creating space for joy, love, and deeper connections with ourselves and others. Embracing this practice enables us to live more fully and authentically, liberated from the chains of attachment and open to the unfolding journey of life. Buddhist ethics and morality, a path of virtue and well-being. Today's lecture explores Buddhist ethics and morality, a fundamental framework for ethical conduct guiding practitioners toward a life of virtue, compassion, and lasting well-being. Unlike many ethical systems that rely on external rules or divine commandments, Buddhist morality is rooted in the understanding of cause and effect, the impact of our actions on ourselves and others, and the cultivation of a mind free from harm. This understanding informs every aspect of the Buddhist journey. A cornerstone of this ethical framework is the principle of nonviolence, or ahimsa in Sanskrit, which calls us to avoid harming living beings and to practice compassion and respect for all life. This principle extends beyond simply avoiding physical harm. It encompasses a deep commitment to compassion. It requires us to extend kindness and understanding to every being, recognizing the shared experience of life and the interconnectedness of all things. Furthermore, it involves avoiding verbal and mental harm, refraining from gossip, criticism, and hateful thoughts, thereby cultivating a truly peaceful mind and environment. Truthfulness is another essential component of Buddhist ethics, encouraging us to speak honestly and to refrain from all forms of lying or deceptive speech. This demands accuracy in our communication, a commitment to telling the truth as we perceive it, and avoiding any deliberate falsehoods. It also calls for us to act with integrity, remaining true to our word and fulfilling our commitments. Furthermore, it encourages us to use speech that is beneficial and constructive, avoiding language that is harmful, divisive, or intended to manipulate. Truthfulness forms the cornerstone of trust, a critical element for building and maintaining healthy relationships and fostering a harmonious society. Closely related is the principle of non-stealing, urging us to respect others' property and avoid taking anything that is not freely offered. This extends beyond acts of physical theft. 1. It also involves treating everyone fairly and respecting the rights of others to their possessions, wealth, and resources. This means avoiding taking advantage of others through deception, manipulation, or exploitation. It requires acknowledging and appreciating the value of what others provide. Finally, non-stealing demands we maintain ethical conduct in all our dealings, whether it be in our professional or personal lives. Sexual responsibility is an equally important tenet, emphasizing the need to maintain ethical and respectful relationships, avoiding all forms of sexual misconduct. This necessitates that all sexual relationships are based on genuine mutual consent and respect. It often involves the commitment to healthy relationships rooted in love, trust, and open communication. It avoids any sexual behavior that is harmful, exploitative, or disrespectful of others. Finally, mindful consumption calls us to avoid intoxicants, substances that cloud our judgment and impair our ability to think clearly. This principle extends to any substance or activity that may lead to impaired awareness, reduced self-control, impulsive behavior, or a loss of ethical conduct. By maintaining a clear mind, we can make sound decisions and live in accordance with these ethical principles. Living in accordance with these principles brings profound benefits. It leads to inner peace, a clear conscience, and a deep sense of well-being. It fosters trust and respect in our relationships with others. It supports our personal and spiritual growth, assisting us in developing positive qualities. Ultimately, it contributes to creating a more just and compassionate world. Buddhist ethics offers a transformative path of virtue and well-being, encouraging us to live in accordance with these principles. By embracing nonviolence, truthfulness, non-stealing, sexual responsibility, and mindful consumption, we cultivate a life of integrity. It offers a pathway to a more ethical and compassionate existence. The different schools of Buddhism, paths to enlightenment. Buddhism, a spiritual tradition with rich diversity, encompasses several schools, each with its unique teachings, practices, and cultural influences. Among the most prominent schools are Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana, all of which offer distinct approaches to enlightenment and the understanding of the Buddhist path. Theravada Buddhism, which originates in Sri Lanka, is often viewed as the oldest form of Buddhism. It emphasizes personal enlightenment through meditation and mindfulness, encouraging practitioners to focus on their own spiritual development. Adherents strive to cultivate wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline, aiming for nirvana, the ultimate state of liberation from suffering and the cycle of rebirth. Theravada teachings are rooted in the Pali Canon, which is considered the earliest record of the Buddha's teachings. This school often stresses the importance of individual effort and personal responsibility in the quest for enlightenment. In contrast, Mahayana Buddhism, which is prevalent in East Asia, broadens the scope of Buddhist practice by emphasizing the importance of helping all beings achieve enlightenment. This school introduces the ideal of the bodhisattva, a compassionate being who seeks enlightenment not just for themselves, but also for the benefit of others. Mahayana's focus on universal salvation reflects a more collective approach, advocating for compassion and altruism as central tenets of the spiritual path. Texts such as the Heart Sutra and the Lotus Sutra are key writings in this tradition, promoting the idea that enlightenment is accessible to all, and that through compassion and wisdom, one can help alleviate the suffering of others. Vajrayana Buddhism, found primarily in Tibet and Nepal, presents a unique synthesis of meditation, ritual practices, and esoteric teachings. Also known as Tibetan Buddhism, it incorporates elements of earlier Tibetan animistic practices and employs a rich array of rituals and visualizations designed to expedite the path to enlightenment. Vajrayana practitioners often engage in advanced meditation techniques, mantra recitation, and the use of sacred symbols known as yantras. This school places a strong emphasis on the guidance of a teacher or lama, who plays a crucial role in the student's spiritual development. Through these practices, Vajrayana seeks to attain enlightenment more quickly by transforming mundane experiences into sacred moments and recognizing the interconnectedness of all phenomena. In conclusion, the diverse schools of Buddhism, Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana, each provide unique insights and practices for those on the path to liberation. Whether through personal meditation, compassionate action, or ritualistic practice, these traditions offer various avenues for practitioners to explore the depths of existence and engage with the profound teachings of the Buddha. Each school enriches the tapestry of Buddhism, reflecting the multifaceted nature of human experience and the quest for enlightenment. Buddhism in the modern world, a growing influence. Today's lecture explores the presence and significance of Buddhism in the modern world. This ancient tradition continues to exert a growing influence across the globe, providing a path to inner peace, ethical living, and a deeper understanding of the human experience. Buddhism has experienced a remarkable global impact, with millions of followers spanning a diverse range of cultures and nationalities. The spread of Buddhism reflects its universal appeal. From Asia, its birthplace, Buddhism has expanded to every continent, adapting to new cultural contexts while retaining its core principles. The global presence of Buddhism is a testament to its enduring relevance and its capacity to resonate with people from all walks of life. Today, its presence can be seen in monasteries, temples, and meditation centers around the world, as well as through the growing number of individuals who incorporate Buddhist principles into their daily lives. A significant development in the modern era has been the increasing influence of Buddhist practices and teachings in the Western world. This Western influence is characterized by the adoption of Buddhist principles as a means of achieving inner peace and well-being. Mindfulness, meditation, and compassion, core tenets of Buddhism, are now widely practiced in the West. They are promoted as tools for managing stress, improving mental health, and fostering a sense of inner calm. The appeal of Buddhism in the West stems from its practicality, its emphasis on personal experience, and its offering of a non-dogmatic approach to spirituality. This growing interest has led to a flourishing of Buddhist centers, retreats, and educational programs across the Western world. In conclusion, Buddhism continues to exert a powerful and growing influence in the modern world. Its teachings on ethics, mindfulness, compassion, and the pursuit of inner peace resonate deeply with people across cultures. The global impact of Buddhism, coupled with its increasing influence in the West, demonstrates its enduring relevance and its potential to shape a more compassionate, peaceful, and mindful world. The benefits of a Buddhist lifestyle, a path to inner peace and well-being. A Buddhist lifestyle offers a wide array of benefits that can positively impact one's life. At its core, Buddhism provides a path to inner peace, emotional well-being, and self-awareness. Here are some of the most significant advantages of adopting a Buddhist lifestyle. One of the primary benefits of Buddhism is stress reduction. Through the practice of meditation and mindfulness, individuals can significantly lower their stress levels and anxiety by focusing on the present moment and letting go of worries about the past or future. One can achieve mental clarity and emotional well-being. This, in turn, improves overall health and quality of life. Meditation and mindfulness techniques can be practiced anywhere, making them a versatile tool for managing stress in any situation. Another key aspect of Buddhism is the development of compassion and loving kindness. Buddhist teachings encourage kindness and understanding towards all beings, recognizing that all individuals are connected and deserving of respect and compassion. This approach fosters a sense of empathy and cooperation, leading to stronger, more meaningful relationships. By cultivating compassion, one can become more understanding, tolerant, and patient, making it easier to navigate life's challenges. Buddhism also emphasizes the importance of self-reflection and introspection. Through regular practice of self-awareness, individuals gain a deeper understanding of themselves, their motivations, and their actions. This self-awareness allows for personal growth and development, enabling one to make more informed decisions and live a more authentic life. By recognizing one's strengths and weaknesses, one can work on improving themselves and becoming a better version of oneself. In addition to these benefits, a Buddhist lifestyle offers numerous other advantages. It promotes gratitude, forgiveness, and humility, helping individuals to cultivate a positive attitude towards life. It encourages living in the present moment, letting go of regrets about the past or worries about the future. It also emphasizes the interconnectedness of all things, fostering a sense of community and social responsibility. In conclusion, a Buddhist lifestyle offers numerous benefits that can improve one's life in profound ways. From reducing stress and anxiety to fostering compassion and self-awareness, Buddhism provides a path to inner peace and well-being. By incorporating Buddhist principles into one's daily life, individuals can experience these benefits firsthand, leading to a happier, healthier, and more fulfilling life. Applying Buddhist principles in daily life, integrating wisdom into action. Today's discussion focuses on the practical application of Buddhist principles in daily life. The teachings of Buddhism are not merely theoretical. They are meant to be lived, woven into the fabric of everyday existence. By consciously incorporating these principles into our routines and interactions, we can cultivate a more meaningful, ethical, and fulfilling life. One of the most accessible and beneficial practices is mindful living. This involves practicing mindfulness in all daily activities, from the simplest to the most complex. It includes everything from eating and walking to working and interacting with others. By being present in the moment, paying attention to our thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment, we cultivate awareness. Mindful eating. This can involve savoring each bite, paying attention to the flavors and textures of the food, and avoiding distractions while eating. Mindful walking. This involves paying attention to the sensations of our feet, the movement of our body, and the environment around us as we walk. Mindful working. This involves focusing on the task at hand, avoiding multitasking, and approaching work with a sense of purpose and intention. Mindful interactions. This involves listening attentively, responding with empathy, and avoiding judgment when interacting with others. Mindful living helps reduce stress, increases awareness, and cultivates a deeper appreciation for the present moment. Another critical practice is that of compassionate actions. This involves acting with kindness, empathy, and understanding in all of our interactions. It means treating others with respect, recognizing their inherent worth, and seeking to ease their suffering. Compassionate action can take many forms, from offering a helping hand to someone in need to speaking up against injustice. It involves kindness, showing gentleness, warmth, and consideration towards others. Empathy, seeking to understand and share the feelings of others. Understanding, approaching others with an open mind, seeking to understand their perspectives and experiences. Gratitude, expressing appreciation for the good things in life and for the kindnesses of others. Compassionate actions create stronger relationships and a more harmonious community. Finally, applying Buddhist principles in daily life requires making ethical choices. This means making decisions based on ethical principles, minimizing harm to ourselves and others. It means striving to act with integrity in all situations, even when faced with difficult choices. Ethical choices involve honesty, speaking the truth, and being truthful in all of our dealings. Fairness, treating others justly and equitably. Responsibility, taking responsibility for our actions and their consequences. Self-control, developing the capacity to resist harmful impulses and to act in accordance with ethical principles. These ethical choices lead to a more virtuous life, contributing to both personal and societal well-being. These three practices, mindful living, compassionate actions, and ethical choices, are interconnected and mutually reinforcing. By incorporating them into our daily lives, we can cultivate a more meaningful, ethical, and fulfilling existence, transforming the mundane into the sacred. In conclusion, the application of Buddhist principles in daily life is a process of integrating wisdom into action, weaving the insights of mindfulness, compassion, and ethical conduct into the fabric of our everyday routines and interactions. It is through this practice that we bring the teachings of Buddhism to life and experience the profound benefits they offer.